Hello everyone, welcome back to our Python live classes. Today is our day 3 of the classes. I hope day 1 and 2 पे भी आपने आप सबने enjoy किया and learn something new and we'll continue. I will start our class in say 4 to 5 minutes so that more people can join. So before that, I would like to request anybody like if अगर आपके अभी तक के सेशन के लिए कुछ कुछ भी कोई क्वेश्चंस है या कुछ डाउट्स है so feel free to put it in the chat and once more people join in we will start with the session. Also आप I hope आप सबका वीक अच्छा गया होगा. So yeah, weekdays you are busy with your work life, your college or classes or your jobs, and weekend pay it's like great opportunity to upskill in Python and no learn the technology of today. So let's hope आपको भी इतना मजा आ रहा है जितना मेरे को आ रहा है. And we'll just start pretty soon. Give it 1 or 2 minutes. उससे पहले we'll just do a quick revision of our last class. So I'll just share my screen और हम एक we'll do quick revision. Okay. So in our last class, day 2 mein, we covered these topics about the Python. So day 1 mein we covered the basics of the Python, then the keywords and the data types and data structures. Day 2 पे हमने we covered the operators we did then the data type casting, conditional statement, एंड स्ट्रिंग एंड फंक्शन हम कवर नहीं कर पाए थे एंड प्रोबेबली लाइक आज भी कवर ना कर पाए बिकॉज वी ऑलरेडी हैव सम कंटेंट लाइंड आउट बट विल कवर इट बिफोर द नेक्स्ट क्लास टुमारो. कल से पहले विल कवर द इम्पोर्टेंट स्ट्रिंग्स एंड इज इम्पोर्टेंट फंक्शंस. सो लास्ट क्लास में वी फर्स्टली डिड द डेटा टाइप कास्टिंग कि हम एक टाइप के डेटा को दूसरे डेटा में कैसे कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. सो वी टुक डिफरेंट एग्जांपल लाइक स्ट्रिंग में अगर हमने कोई वैल्यू स्टोर कर रखी है लाइक इंटीजर वैल्यू तो उसको हम इंट के थ्रू कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. और वी वांट टू कन्वर्ट इंट वैल्यू को फ्लोट में और फ्लोट को बैक टू इंट. सो वी कैन यूज देयर दीज कीवर्ड्स इंट फ्लोट एंड उनको टू कन्वर्ट देम टू डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप. एंड देन उसके बाद हमने कवर किए थे द लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स. सॉरी द ऑपरेटर्स डिफरेंट टाइप्स. सो ऑपरेटर्स कितने टाइप के होते हैं दैट इज अरिथमेटिक, लॉजिकल, स्पेशल, असाइनमेंट, बिटवाइज. इसमें आपको मैंने एक होमवर्क दिया था टू लुक अप देयर हायरार्की लाइक अगर हमारे पास एक स्टेटमेंट में मल्टीपल ऑपरेटर्स है सो क्या हायरार्की क्या ऑर्डर फॉलो होगा प्रेसिडेंस ऑर्डर फॉलो होगा टू फॉर देयर एग्जीक्यूशन. सो आई होप आप सबने वो गो थ्रू किया होगा. इट्स बेसिकली अ चार्ट एंड सबसे पहले वी गिव प्रायोरिटी टू अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स. उसके बाद वी हैव बिटवाइज ऑपरेटर जो ऑर्डर ऑफ प्रेसिडेंस फॉलो होता है. देन वी हैव द नेक्स्ट इज लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स इन द ऑर्डर एंड उसके बाद लास्टली द असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर. But so if you see this chart, if you want, I can just quickly show you. So this is the chart. आप सिंपल गूगल सर्च करके इसको विजिट कर सकते हैं. Just yep. So as you can see, first of all, we have uh, we have the operators in this. Like we have the arithmetic operators bitwise, and then the logical operators, and then the assignment operators. So yeah, lastly, so हमने like we discussed all these operators in each detail. Like arithmetic operators are similar to mathematical functions that we have, and the logical operators are and, not, or, and XOR, which are like used in Python generally. Or इसके like we saw examples of all these operators. Then we also did the sorry bit I skipped the bitwise. We also did the bitwise operator, same bitwise and or and XOR, and the bitwise left shift and right shift. Only difference between difference between bitwise and the logical operator is bitwise it works on the bits जो इसका 0 एंड 1 बिट वैल्यू होती है, एक इंटीजर का और एक पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू का, वो उस पे वर्क करता है। And the logical operator works on the conditions, or like we can logical a equal to n. So अगर ये true है तो ये logical operator में we can use it as a condition. Then we went through the assignment operators, like they are used to assign values to a variable. So इसके like we saw multiple examples. And then lastly we covered the if, elif and else statement, जो conditional statement होती है in our in the python. Like if you want to add certain conditions कोई भी block of code execute करने के लिए, then we saw the different examples of if, elif, else. And yeah, that's it about the day 2 class. And now today we are going to, yeah, cover these topics. So आज के quick topic revision, like we just did that. उसके बाद now we are going to cover the loops. So loops क्या होते हैं, we will discuss that. And there are two types of loop, for and while. उसके बाद loops में ही there are two important keywords, break and continue. So हम ये दो keywords करेंगे discuss. And then after that we have उसके बाद हम जो पाइथन के डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स है, लिस्ट एंड ट्यूपल, इनके इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शंस एंड इनके मैनिपुलेशंस हम कवर करेंगे. एंड देन वी आर गोइंग टू कवर लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. सेम वे अनदर टू important डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ पाइथन, सेट एंड डिक्शनरी. सो इनके हम important functions and manipulation discuss करेंगे. And lastly string function we will discuss if we have some time left over. Otherwise इसको हम कल की क्लास से पहले in the first 5-10 minutes we can cover these string functions. Okay, I'm just going to look at the chat. अगर किसी को कुछ doubt, or if there is anything anyone want to say before the class, they can put it into a chat. और हमारी team है, if there is some doubt, like our team at the InfiniData, they will reply to you directly. I'll just share my screen again and we can get started. Okay, firstly, let's start with the loops. And we already did a quick revision. And now let's start with the loops. Okay, so Python में, like we Python or in any programming language, we have very interesting concepts of loop. So basically इसमें क्या होता है, like let's say एक code है जिसको you need to like execute कोई code multiple times. You need to that you need to uh, there is like more than 2 lines of code, 3 lines of code that you have to repeat, say 10 times. 10 times आपको उसको repeat करना है. So like those 3 lines, अगर आप code में like the in the file आप if you write it 10 times, so it will be like 30 lines of code. So for 30 lines of code, you are doing same repetition and without much change in the basic code. So it's not very like efficient way to write code. So basically to stop this to stop this multiple repetition, so we have concept of loop में basically uh, we can give certain condition, like let's say अगर हमें कोई भी कोड 10 times execute करना है, so we can tell the loop that I want to run this code 10 times. And and the same thing will be executed 10 times. So just one or two extra loop condition add करके आपको instead of 30 lines you can just write 4-5 lines in the in your final python or any language code. So basically ये बहुत much cleaner approach है to write a code. And also it is like it is easy for you also to make it readable. ठीक है. So basically loops, there are two ways loops create करने के. One is while loop, and then we have for loop. So we'll just see example of each of them, while loop and for loop. So while loop के लिए the keyword, as you can see, the keyword is while only. So let's say I took a variable आई जिसकी वैल्यू अभी 0 है, राइट? एंड लेट्स से आई डिड व्हाइल। सो इसका सिंटैक्स क्या रहता है? यू हैव टू यूज द कीवर्ड व्हाइल, उसके बाद यू हैव टू गिव सम लेट्स से कंडीशन जब तक ये व्हाइल रन करेगा। सो लेट्स जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट। सॉरी गाइस, मेरे को अभी पता चला वीडियो नॉट अवेलेबल। आई विल जस्ट रीशेयर माय स्क्रीन। आई विल स्टॉप शेयरिंग एंड रीशेयर अगेन। Let me just share the entire screen. Okay. I hope ये visible है आप सबको. If not, you can write it in the chat. Okay. Can you please repeat from starting? Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Day 3 का I'll just repeat quickly कि sorry because of screen visibility you could not see this earlier. So day 3 में what we are going to cover is this. So we already have the quick revision. उसके अलावा पाइथन में वी विल डिस्कस दी लूप्स। सो लूप्स क्या होते हैं एंड व्हाट आर देयर यूज, एंड देन लूप्स के अंदर देयर आर टू इंपॉर्टेंट कीवर्ड्स ब्रेक एंड कंटिन्यू, वी विल डिस्कस दैट। एंड देन आफ्टर दैट नेक्स्ट इज लिस्ट एंड ट्यूपल जो कि डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं पाइथन के, दैट वी डिस्कस इन क्लास डे 1। वी विल डिस्कस द इम्पॉर्टेंट functions of list and tuple, and then another important topic is list comprehension जो हम discuss करेंगे। and then उसके बाद then the two data structures, another two data structures of python जो हमने day 1 पे discuss किए थे, set and dictionary, इसके हम important functions discuss करेंगे। and then lastly we have string functions, but depending on the time हम string functions discuss करेंगे, if not we can discuss this in tomorrow's class before going to the next topic. So this will most probably be covered today. I will try कि ये सब टॉपिक आज लाइक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली कवर हो जाए। एंड या all right. So yeah. So I was talking about the loops. So so loops basically क्या होते हैं? Like if we have some code block जैसे or just one line of code. Let's say you have to print, आपको एक print कुछ भी print करना है multiple times. So instead of writing it multiple times like print 1 2 3 4 5, so instead वो multiple times repeat करने के लिए same line of code we can use loops. सो लूप्स क्या करते हैं? जब तक हमारी कोई कंडीशन होती है, लेट्स से मैंने कंडीशन रख दी दैट द स्टूडेंट लाइक द स्टूडेंट रोल नंबर इज लेस देन 10। सो मेरे को uh, एक कोई भी डेटा है, डेटा में मुझे फर्स्ट 10 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उनका उनके मार्क्स और उनका मेरे को नेम चाहिए। सो इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग लाइक लेट्स से वो स्टूडेंट्स के जो डेटा है वो लिस्ट में प्रेजेंट है, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग की स्टूडेंट 1 2 3 like individually, we can use a loop to get all the data in 2 3 lines of code, instead आपको 10 lines of 20 lines of code लिखना पड़े। So that's why loops are very useful. ये आपके कोड को much cleaner बनाते हैं, and also they also save lot of time, so कि आपको same code repeat नहीं करना पड़ेगा, right? So in python आपके you have two loops. First is while loop and then we have for loop. So basically we will you'll see the example of each of them, and uh, इनका हम पहले सिंटेक्स डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। सो while loop का सिंटेक्स क्या रहता है? फर्स्टली यू हैव द कीवर्ड while, एंड देन उसके बाद सम कंडीशन वी प्रोवाइड, जैसे अभी जो एग्जांपल लिया था उसमें हमने स्टूडेंट रोल नंबर लेस देन 10 ले लिया और लेस देन 11। अगर हमें वी नीड टू गेट दी स्टूडेंट नेम्स, सो ये हमने कंडीशन लिया, देन वी यूज द कॉलन एंड आफ्टरवर्ड्स इसके बाद आफ्टर सम इंडेंटेशन, लेट्स से जनरली द इंडेंटेशन we follow is four spaces. So after four, let's say, so the indent or up, you can just do a tab also. So after applying some indentation we can write our code like the steps over here that we need to repeat. Let's say steps, print some data, right? उसके अलावा yeah, so this is also like complete while condition, while syntax. इसके अलावा there is another option you can also write a else over here after the while condition is over. So जब while condition over हो जाती है, you can write a else, but this is totally optional. Like you can say print, uh, print and then while block is executed. So there are many times else condition use नहीं होती है. We people just use the while and then this, but else is totally up to you. If you want to execute something after while condition becomes false, जो भी ये while की condition है. Let's say the student roll numbers reached 11. So in that case, you can use else statement to print something or execute some code. So we'll just see a quick example of this. So this was a comment. As you can see, this is a multi-line comment. Okay, Python is printed at, ठीक है. So एक वेरिएबल लेते हैं 0 एंड लेट्स से मैंने लिया while I की वैल्यू लेस देन 10 है. So ये हो गया while कीवर्ड. दिस इज आवर कंडीशन I लेस देन 10 एंड देन दी कॉलन एंड देन इसमें वी आर जस्ट सिंपली प्रिंटिंग I. This is very basic example of it. And while के अंदर मैंने एक और किया, like I did I plus equal to 1. If you remember last class, this is one of the like compound assignment operator. So this basically is equal to I equal to I plus 1. Okay. So अगर मैंने ये कोड ब्लॉक एग्जीक्यूट किया, so it will print the values of I, as you can see. So ये print कर रहा है I की वैल्यू 0 1 2 3 till 9. As soon as I की वैल्यू 10 हुई, so this condition जो है ये false हो गई, like I is now equal to 10, this condition is false. So ये पूरा so जो while block है ये this stopped executing. So अभी if I print the value of I after this, it will tell you the current value of I. Let's say मैंने I की current value print करी. Current value of I is, let's execute this again. Let's see आपकी while block it is getting executed 0 to 9 आप print हो रहा है, and then lastly after this uh, code is done, so we are reaching here, so we can see current value of I is 10. Yeah, I hope this is clear, and this is a very basic example of it. So while के अंदर जैसे we had just 2 lines of code, इसके अंदर we can have multiple lines of code. इसके and also you can have further if else condition inside while also कि if I equal to 2 then print this, or if I equal to 3 then print this. So same way we can uh, make our code flow like this, so that key multiple, even after multiple condition, like you get your desired output. So let's say we have the uh, so let's take the example of student only. So we have a student list, and we'll just take 5 student, and ओके, एज यू कैन सी ये सब इनिशियल रोल नंबर्स है, ऑर्डर माइट बी डिफरेंट. So we have list of 5 students. Ab now out of these 5 students, I only want to see the first 3 student जो top 3 roll numbers है मेरे को सिर्फ वो देखने हैं. So I'll just इस केस में again let's use I only, I equal to 0. Then while I is less than 3, then I can do print roll number. Then the is this, right? And let's execute this. Sorry. Yeah, don't do this mistake in future. So basically what happened here is I forgot to do I plus 1 equal to 1. And what happened as a result is since I key value is 0 only, so it is gone into an infinite loop. So इसलिए I had to stop the code execution. So always make sure, don't this is a very always make sure whenever you are executing some code और कोई भी loop create किया है, you do not by chance go into an infinite loop. So let's run this again now. Yeah, now you can see we only got the like roll number 1, 2, 3 value, like the first 3 names from the student list. Okay, nothing in there. So same way, अब हम we'll go to the for loop. Firstly, इसका let's see the syntax of it. So for loop का syntax कैसा रहता है? So we have for. For जो है it's a reserved keyword. For होता है. Then we have the condition. Condition or not condition, sorry. We have the iterator. So iterator क्या है? We will discuss that. And इसके बाद we have the आर कोड जो भी आपको प्रिंट और स्टेप्स टू एग्जीक्यूट करने हैं, स्टेप्स टू एग्जीक्यूट, you know. So this is very simple. और same as while block, इसमें भी we have option to add else. So after your for loop is completed, for loop, so उसके बाद if you want कि कोई कोड execute होए once the for loop condition becomes false, so आप you can write that in, put that in the else statement. And like it's not compulsory because if you are not even adding it in the else statement, you can move to your next part of code, like for loop के नीचे if there's some other you have still further code है, so that one will execute anyway. So yeah, many people they don't write this else condition. Okay, so we have this. Let's use the same student list जो हमने यहाँ पे create करी थी. So uh, if you remember there was a membership operator जो एक हमने डिस्कस किया था, that is in. So हम in operator यहाँ पे यूज करेंगे. So for let's say student in, we have student list. So basically इसमें क्या हो रहा है, the student in student list. So student list एक लिस्ट है जिसमें हमारे पास 5 स्टूडेंट्स के नेम हैं. So वो जो नेम्स हैं they will be they will be assigned to this variable student one by one जब तक इसमें वैल्यूज हैं. So student में we have 5 names. So ये जो for loop है it will run 5 times and each time like the first time ये run होगा इसके student variable के अंदर जो भी list की first value है वो assign हो जाएगी, like the first value is Akash, so ये student variable के अंदर assign हो जाएगी कि and same way then the when the next iteration happen, iteration is मतलब like this loop is executed one by one, so that is like we are iterating in this loop one by like one by one iterating over the elements of this student list. So let's say I'll just print this student variable here. So student is a like variable for in this case. So अगर हमने ये execute किया this code, so you can see each time जो student ls में जो value है हमारी, so all those values are getting printed here one by one. सो वी कैन यूज स्टूडेंट वेरिएबल, जो भी स्टूडेंट और जो भी आपने वेरिएबल यहाँ पे नेम डिफाइन किया है वी कैन यूज दैट वेरिएबल टू आइटरेट ओवर हर एक एलिमेंट जो है लिस्ट का, वी कैन yeah we can iterate over that and yeah इसमें we are just printing, you can also print other details as well. अगर आपके डेटा में है हमने लिस्ट में सिर्फ नेम स्टोर किए हैं, बट लेट्स से आपके पास डेटा में स्टूडेंट के मार्क्स हैं, रोल नंबर है, देन द एड्रेस, मोबाइल नंबर, ऑल दीज वैल्यूज एंड so we can you we can print all those value or maybe you want to calculate उनके marks, average marks calculate करने हैं, so we can like write a block of code. Let's assume कि मेरे पास student के marks भी हैं, so I'll also do like print the average marks of student and इसमें मैंने like I just did a sum of all these values. So this is just a comment because अभी हमारे पास we do not have the uh, data of like marks data, but we can just do like sum of all the marks, then divide by, let's say हमारे पास 5 subjects and then divide by 5. So yeah, so loops are like a helpful in that way, like आपको you don't know हर एक स्टूडेंट के लिए आपको ये कोड रिपीट नहीं करना पड़ेगा, you can just write it in the for loop. Okay, that's it about the loops over here. And loops के अंदर there is जैसे if else के अंदर you can write multiple statements like if, then if के अंदर you can have another if else. Same way loop के अंदर we can have multiple loops also if you require. So let's say मेरे पास एक for loop है, for student in the student list, and इसके बाद I need to mm, I also want to like create another loop inside it. So इस case में let's create another sample list so that it is more clear. So इस case में I'm just creating a dictionary, and dictionary में key हो गया that student name, and basically key student name नहीं रखना चाहिए. I'm just doing this for the sake of example. Name क्यों नहीं रखना चाहिए, क्योंकि there is a chance कि multiple repetition हो for the same name. There can be multiple people named Abhinav, Arushi in your class, so you can use their roll number as a key. So इस case में I'm just let's say giving them like some marks. So like this is the marks for the 3 subjects. So let's change it up a little bit. Okay, there are too many 34s. So these are the 5 students. Let's say मुझे चाहिए like the first subject. So this is subject 1 में सबके कितने marks हैं और subject 2, 3 कितने marks हैं. So I can use like nested loop for that also. Or if you don't want to use nested loop, you can directly also get the value. But let's just say firstly मैंने I have to change this. So since this is a dictionary, so dictionary के elements get करने के लिए we can use this items. So we have these two student name. So basically items क्या करता है? Items iterates through uh, both key and जो भी value है उसके corresponding दोनों के ऊपर iterate करता है. So we can have so key is this student name, and then we have the marks. सो लेट्स से मेरे को मार्क्स भी इंडिविजुअल चाहिए फॉर लाइक लेट्स से इंडिविजुअल. सो इसमें लाइक आई हैव क्रिएटेड नेस्टेड लूप. लेते हैं नेस्टेड लूप इज 4 के अंदर देयर इज अनदर 4 लूप, और लाइक 4 के अंदर आई हैव वाइल लूप, और वाइल के अंदर वी हैव अनदर 4 लूप. सो नेस्टेड लूप क्या है? लाइक फर्स्ट द आउटर लूप विल लाइक आउटर लूप का जो आइटरेशन है वो स्टार्ट होगा. एंड विद इन दैट आइटरेशन जो भी इनर लूप है, इनर लूप लाइक इट विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड कंप्लीटली इनर लूप. एंड देन आउटर लूप के नेक्स्ट वैल्यू जो है वो आइटरेट होगी. एंड देन दी इनर लूप विल बी अगेन एग्जीक्यूटेड फुली फॉर दैट वैल्यू. सो बेसिकली क्या होता है? लाइक वी यू हैव द लूप आउटर लूप के हर एक वैल्यू के अगेंस्ट इनर लूप में कंप्लीट वैल्यूज जो है कवर होती है. सो लेट्स सी इसके इस एग्जांपल में इट विल बी बिट मोर क्लियर टू यू. प्रिंट सो आउटर लूप में इट वी आर गोइंग टू iterate through each of these cases, and I'm just printing student name, that is student, and then I'm printing marks in subject. So मैंने I equal to 1 किया इधर. Marks in subject I say that is this, and that is individual marks. Right. Okay, let's and then we are just in this I plus 1. Let's see what we have. So as you can see जो first outer loop है उसमें like this line is printed like first value उसने लिया like value of Akash, and then उसके बाद जो inner loop है, inner loop is going to be executed 3 times because हमने we have taken 3 subjects. सो इनर लूप क्या है? ये हर बार लाइक फॉर ईच ऑफ दिस 5 स्टूडेंट्स 3 टाइम्स एग्जीक्यूट हो गई. सो टोटल जो ये लूप है इट विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड 15 टाइम्स फॉर 5 स्टूडेंट्स. 3 times the inner loop will be executed. So let's see we have student name, then marks in their subject 1 2 3 is this. Then same way हम next student is this Abhinav, and then marks in subject 1 2 3. You can see these are the same one जो हमने यहाँ पे डाले हैं. So basically this is the nested loop. Nested loop is you have loop inside a loop, and you can have multiple types of you can have different type way of uh, adding nested loop in your code. So आप while के अंदर for loop लगा सकते हैं, या for के अंदर for भी. So it does not like matter the type of loop you use. Okay. And then we have the break and continue. Okay, so these two are like a very interesting use case, useful keywords for our loops. So basically break and continue ये हमारे loops के अंदर यूज होते हैं. And what do these two keywords do is, break के केस में, सो ब्रेक के केस में व्हाट हैपेंस इज, अगर आपका लूप रन हो रहा है एंड लेट्स से यू वांट टू like uh, you want to basically break out of it. That is the so you can use break keyword to move out move out of this. But अगर लेट्स से यू वांट कि एक कोई पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन है uh, जिस पे आई डू नॉट वांट दिस लूप टू रन. Let's say in this case only, like we have different student name, but लेट्स से मुझे उन स्टूडेंट के मार्क्स प्रिंट नहीं करने हैं जो किसी सब्जेक्ट में दे हैव नॉट पास्ड और दे हैव फेल्ड. सो आई डू नॉट वांट टू प्रिंट डिटेल्स ऑफ दैट स्टूडेंट जो भी फेल हो चुके हैं. सो इन दैट केस आई कैन यूज द लाइक से कंटिन्यू कीवर्ड कि टू स्किप दो स्टूडेंट जिनके मार्क्स दे आर नॉट मेकिंग द पासिंग मार्क्स. और लेट्स से आई वांट टू, और ब्रेक किस केस में यूज कर सकते हैं, लेट्स से आई डू नॉट कोई भी लाइक मैंने कंडीशन पुट करी है कि इफ द स्टूडेंट डेटा इज वैलिड और नॉट. सो स्टूडेंट डेटा में लेट्स से there is some error over here. Instead of 45 there is a 450, which is not the like correct which is not the correct marks. Let's say out of 100 this स्टूडेंट के 450 मार्क्स नहीं आ सकते, तो ऑब्वियसली डेटा में कोई इशू है, द डेटा इज नॉट करेक्ट. सो इन दैट केस मैं लाइक आई कैन पुट अ कंडीशन कि इफ दिस डज नॉट मीट दी सम क्राइटेरिया, सो ब्रेक, तो कंप्लीट जो कोड है एग्जिट कर जाए. सो फॉर दैट एग्जिट आई कैन यूज ब्रेक ब्रेक कीवर्ड, right? So we'll just say so we'll just use the continue and break keywords over here. So let's say I'll just see, you can see this student Abhinav, he's failing in one of the subject. So in one of the subject उसके marks it's not up to the like it's not making the passing marks. So what I can do is, if अभी क्या है, let's keep the condition of the student equals Abhinav, then I'll do continue. This is just for an example purpose. If you want, हम इंडिविजुअल मार्क्स के अंदर भी कंडीशन लगा सकते हैं. अब इसके अंदर हम क्या कंडीशन लगा सकते हैं, लाइक इफ दिस इंडिविजुअल mark is less than say 34, then print student failed, and we can do some sort of break over here. But for now ये condition let's not use this. अभी हम let's keep this simple and just see कि अगर student का name अभिनव है, then I want to continue as in continue के नीचे जो भी line of code है all this will be skipped. एंड जो आइट्रेशन में नेक्स्ट वैल्यू है, नेक्स्ट वैल्यू टू अभिनव इज आरुषि. सो फॉर लूप क्या है, वो नेक्स्ट वैल्यू पे चला जाएगा इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रिंटिंग एनी ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंटिन्यू के नीचे, राइट? So I'll just execute again and you can see the output. So student name Akash. Akash के बाद we skipped Abhinav and we directly went to the next student, that is Arushi over here. So this is the use of continue कि कुछ condition के base पे if you want to skip certain steps or certain code blocks for uh, on your condition, so you can use continue statement. But अगर here instead of continue अगर हमने let's say I did a break, so break के केस में क्या होगा, as soon as student name Abhinav होगा, so the entire execution of this for, so for loop के अंदर this execution, this entire execution will be stopped. So let me just run this, it will be clear. So you can see the output. So first student key details they were printed, but after that as soon as they got the name as Abhinav, so this thing is like complete loop जो है code है उसके we broke out of it and execution is stopped at this point, right? And also in case of nested loop, let's say मैंने instead of this if condition मैंने इसको यहाँ पे डाला in the inner loop. सो इस केस में क्या होगा, इंस्टेड ऑफ एंटायर लूप जो स्किप हुआ है, ओनली दिस part of code will be skipped for Abhinav. So let's execute this again and you can see कि student name Akash, then the marks, and then what happened in case of Abhinav, we printed the student name, and then inner loop में क्या हुआ, as soon as the student name is Abhinav, break. So ये जो two lines of code है in the inner loop ये execute नहीं हुए, and then directly so then directly we went outside, we went to the outside loop and it went to the next student. सेम वे अगर इसको हम कंटिन्यू करते हैं, सो उसमें भी विल सी दी सिमिलर रिजल्ट. सो जो भी ये कंटिन्यू स्टेटमेंट है इट विल अप्लाई टू ओनली दिस इनर लूप. सो ऑलवेज मेक श्योर कि कंटिन्यू ब्रेक आप जहाँ पे लगा रहे हैं वो उसी लूप में, वो उसी लूप में वैलिड रहेगा. So if you want to break break your code at inside the inner loop, so you have to use it in the inner loop, or just अगर वो आपको outer पूरा outer loop का execution break करना है, so use it in the outside. Wow. Okay, it's already 7:45. Time just flies. Any question in the so anybody has any question, we'll just have a quick 2-minute break over here. Then we will start the next part. Okay, I don't see any question in the chat, but yeah, well, hi Kushbu, and also my music, like whosoever that person is. Thank you, and hi to Gaurav. So yeah, so no other questions. Let's go to the next part then. Also, if you have any concerns कि the speed is too high or the or content है it's not good, or any feedback आपके पास है to this for this classes, please feel free to connect with us. आप chat में डाल सकते हैं. You can connect with us on the Instagram, LinkedIn, and also if you have any positive feedback also, please feel free to connect with us and share some love. It will be like great. So yeah, we are we have our LinkedIn channel, we have Instagram, and we are very active on all those channels. So कोई भी आपकी क्वेरी डाउट है, you can reach out to us on those social media platforms, and yeah, we'll be very happy to talk with you all. So let's move to the list functions now. Okay, so list we discussed. So list basically ordered collection of data hai in our in Python, and we can do multiple operations, of operations on the list. So let's use the existing list जो हमने create करी थी in this step, the student list. So uh, this will be like a I'll give you example of each of these cases, like how to add, modify, index, update values in the list. So you can feel free to note it down. सो ऐड मॉडिफिकेशन, सो हमारे पास एक स्टूडेंट लिस्ट है. लेट्स से हमें स्टूडेंट नेम्स ऐड करने हैं टू दैट एग्जिस्टिंग लिस्ट. सो व्हाट वी कैन डू इज student ls, and then we can do append. Let's say we have a new student entering entering the like our class. So उस case में, so let's say we have Khushbu over here. Sorry Khushbu, I'm using your name, but yeah, after this we have, if we print this student ls, so as you can see, अब हमारी class में we have 6 students over here now. So list में if you want to add anything, you can use this append function. This ये inbuilt function है python का, and it will just add you new data over it. So let's see, no, अब next case में, let's say we have more than 10 student, uh, 10 new students coming in our class. So उस case में what will happen is, will we need to add, like instead of adding one each student name one by one, we can just do like single update, and like one time update. So उसके लिए we have this function extend. So extend के case में we can add list of student in one go. Let's say I'm adding Gaurav over here, and then I'm also adding mm, Aman, and let's say I'm adding another person. Sorry guys, we are just using your names for example purpose. So इस केस में you can see मैंने एक list है, list में we I am adding 3 names एक साथ, and I'm using this function extend keyword, and if I print the student list now, so you can see all these people have been added. So ये क्या है, जो जो order रहेगा, it will be same. Like firstly I added the Khushbu's name, so it will be added after the first 5 individuals. Same way next 3 जो मैंने addition किए, they will be added at the after the last value, right? So that's about the addition modification. Also you can also modify the, oh sorry, that's not modification. You can also modify some name. Let's say in the middle, koi some student hai, they are not, they have not attending classes, or like they have left the classes. So let's say unke case mein we have some new person coming in. So let's see student ls and 0. So 0 is for the first index value, like so जस्ट इन केस अगर आपको लिस्ट के ऊपर कुछ भी डाउट है, लाइक व्हाट वी आर डिस्कसिंग हुए, आई हाईली सजेस्ट कि आप हमारे डे वन जो क्लासेस थी वो गो थ्रू करें टू मेक योर सेल्फ मोर फेमिलियर विद दिस. सो उसमें वी डिस्कस्ड हाउ टू क्रिएट अ लिस्ट, एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली लिस्ट डेटा structure is in python. Okay, let's say Akash left our class in between. So, but some other student joined. So instead of adding new student at the last, मेरे को क्या करना है? I just want to replace Akash value first with the new student. So, so this zeroth is for this zeroth, like the first index value, and इसके like instead of Akash, we have let's say Paris coming in, and sorry, I forgot to do the print. Yep. So you can say existing list की जो value है, we can modify it using the index value. If I did this, like student at value 5. So at 5, what value do we have is slow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Khushbu. So Khushbu at fifth position. So instead of Khushbu, we will have Paras coming in again. Okay. So this modification, indexing, so this that modification is you we did. So इसमें हम we are using the zero index values, like zero index. So zero index is basically like जो भी एक list में first value होती है, that उसका index value it always starts from zero. So uh, so people like it is like a standard in most of the programming languages. So जो भी first value होती है in the list or any data structure, ordered data structure, that starts from zero only. So that is about the indexing. Like let's say मैंने I want to print the last value of student. So last value is it, sorry, this. So we have five values, then we added four values. Total values we have is 9. So last value जो है, that will be at the eighth position. So you can say the last value that we added वो eighth position पे है, but that is the ninth value. So this 8 basically means is ninth value in our student ls. So always make sure जो भी आप ये index यहाँ पे use करें, it's always between your 0 to like whatever the last value is, -1. So let's say अगर आपकी if you have 9 elements जो कि हमारी this list में है, so इस case में we'll do 9 minus 1, that will be 8. So 8 will be the index of last value. So last value neha, that is at the eighth index value. Okay. Anything else? Also, if you want to, so over here we just updated one value, but अगर आपको multiple values भी update करनी है, that also you can do in Python. In over here. So let's say two people, three people, or multiple people left the class, and like it's like ongoing process. Multiple people are leaving, then multiple people are joining, and so on. So instead of or they are not, so instead of like doing this update one by one, what I can do is student ls, and let's say from 1 to 4. So these are three values, like 1, 2, 3. So from 1 to 4 I want to update the values in student list. So let's say instead of Abhinav, then let's say Abhi joined. Yeah, not very creative, I know, but yeah. And instead of Arushi, then Ayansh joined. And then instead of Akansha, we had Tarushi joining. See, so as you can see, 1:4. So 1:4, what is going to do is it's going to take three values, let us at the index 1, 2 and 3. So we have index 1 पे we have abhinav, then 2 and 3. So these three values जो है वो update हो जाएंगी, and they will be changed to these three values. So let's do this and print the student list again. Yep. So as you can see, so ये जो 1, 2, 3, these three values have been changed to this. So we can So if you want to change one value, so we can use direct uska index use karke we can change the value. But if you want to change say multiple values directly, so you can use this notation. So this is basically this one is the starting value, start value, that is the start value index, so that is one. And then we have colon, and then this four is the index of like the index like कहाँ तक आपको वो अपडेट करना है till the before the fourth value. So this index is the whatever up जहाँ तक वैल्यू अपडेट करनी है उसका index plus one. So yeah, so these three, one, two, and three. So अगर like if you had five over here, so उस case में you had to provide one more value over here, and then the value of Ayushi would have been updated as well. Okay, then let's move on to delete. uh, Thoda maybe time limit, we might overshoot the time limit, but don't worry, we will cover everything in our class. If we skip something today, so don't worry, we will cover it in the next class. But let's see, let's try to cover the maximum content today itself. And then if you have any doubts or anything that is left, we'll cover it in our next class. Then the delete. So let's say I want to delete some value from this list. So uske bhi there are like various inbuilt functions python mein hote hain. And uh, we'll just discuss, like there are multiple ways, so we'll just discuss those ways. So there is this keyword del, and so del is for delete only. And let's say I do student ls and I want to delete the fifth value. So fifth index is this, like we have zero at para. So at fifth value we have Gaurav. So if we delete this, we just going to do this student ls again. I'll just write all the ways we can remove a value. And I think run this. Wait, sorry, what's the fifth index? Oh, sorry, it was Khushbu was at the fifth index. Yeah. So uh, as you can see, this value has been deleted, and yeah, we have 8 people in our list now. Let's create another code block. So after delete, like we have also another way to like same as this case जैसे हमने we add, like we updated multiple values, same way we can also do delete 1 to 5 values. So multiple like values can also be deleted from a list same way. Another way to remove value from list is, let's say student ls dot pop. So what this function does is, ये function जो भी आपकी last value है list में, that value will be deleted. So this is last value is Neha. So once we run this student ls dot pop, so ये this Neha's name will be removed from the list. So you can see the output now. So the last value जो भी हमारे list में थी, using this functions dot pop, your last value will be removed from the list. And okay. Okay, so there is a question from Gaurav that in some case index start from one. In case of list, yeah. So it depends on some like in some languages. I've uh, not worked in all languages. So in some languages, index also start with one. So but they are like very rare cases. And so majority आप जितनी भी programming mainstream programming languages में work करोगे, index always starts from zero. So always please be mindful of that. But I have like I think read or heard somewhere that in few cases the index one से भी शुरू करते हैं. They are basically the programming language that people have created for their own ease. So, but yeah, you can uh, use that, but they are like not very let's say all the mainstream programming language उन सब में indexing zero से ही शुरू होती है, like, every time. Okay, okay. So I'll just write down the last will. Wait. So another method, uh, delete to delete some value in a list is remove. So how is remove different from the uh, top three is like in remove we can directly add हमें कौन सी value remove करनी है. Let I want to remove the value this values the second value over here at the first index, and if I do this print again, yep, you can see that particular value has been removed. So so we just saw the like there are four ways you can delete values. First one is remove. अगर आपको directly value से remove करना है whatever value is present in list. अगर आपको index से remove करना है you can use del keyword and then use that index. Another way is अगर आपको multiple values remove करनी है at some index you can use this notation like start index this and then the end index. And another way is using this pop uh, function, and this function always removes up last value. Okay, and let's discuss the sorting now. And this is we'll just see like in Python for our list we have this function sort. So इस केस में क्या होता है, like you see आपके क्लास में your names are like always sorted by alphabetically. So if you want to sort your let's say names, this is a list of student names, अगर हमको इसको alphabetically if you want to sort we can use Python's this inbuilt method that is dot sort. And if I print this student ls, it is going to show the sorted list. So as you can see the now the list is our sorted value. So इसमें क्या है, we had string values. Let's say हमारे पास we had a list of numbers. So we had a list of number like 1 2 all jumbled up. So usko bhi if we use that sort keyword like sort function, so us case में भी it will list would have been sorted by numbers. Another way to sort a list is so like all this function abhi tak inme like all these changes were happening in place. And another way to sort a list is to use sorted function, and I can so our list is actually already sorted. uh, but so but let's say ki I do not want to sort this existing list. So existing list को मैंने sort नहीं करना था, but I want to store this sorted list values in another keyword. Let's say sorted in another variable, so student list. So we can use this sorted keyword. So sorted function, what this function will do is ये student list को sort करेगा, but it instead of changing the student list original student list it will uh, uh, pass this student sorted value into this variable जो भी हमने variable define किया. And then when we print this sorted student list, so it will be printed. So let's just student student ls में let's just add a value dot append. And append मैंने किया I'll just add a name from say Diksha. So as you can see, Diksha alphabetically it should be after Ayushi. So but मैंने last में student value इस पे append किया. So I'll just print this value also. Original original list is the student ls, and then we have the sorted list. Okay, so you can see original list में when I did the append, so Diksha का जो भी Diksha का name that has been appended at the last. But once we did the sorted, use the sorted function, and then so जो sorted list है उसमें we had uh, gotten the Diksha's name in correct position, but but the original जो student list है that has remained the same, so that has not been sorted by this. But अगर हम if we use this way to sort the list dot sort, so उस केस में this happens in place, that is जो ओरिजिनल लिस्ट है वो आपकी मॉडिफाई हो जाएगी, एंड इन दिस केस सॉर्टेड फंक्शन में ओरिजिनल लिस्ट आपकी सेम रहेगी, जो भी आप न्यू वेरिएबल में असाइन कर रहे हो उस लिस्ट को that will have the sorted values. So let's there are few more important functions जो list and tuple के inbuilt हैं, and they are like very useful. So once we do uh, once we do bit go more deeper into the Python classes, so you'll see these functions being used. So for now, I'll just list out these functions and what they do. So we have reverse. So let's say I do student list dot reverse. So in this reverse क्या करेगा? It will reverse the elements of the student list. So instead of starting with Aman, it will start from Dikshan now. So that will reverse the list. And same way, we can use this for a uh, we can use this for our in our tuple also. And another important function is okay. You can see like when I do the dot, so it shows me the like different functions जो student जो हम list में apply कर सकते हैं. So this is like auto suggestions that Google Colab is currently giving me. So you can see append we already use. Clear is for like deleting all the elements from our list. Same way, copy if you want to copy all the element of our list. And then we have count. Count is basically, let's say I want to count if there are uh, multiple values repeating in our list. Let's say the Diksha's name, there are two, three, or four Diksha in the class, and I want to count the number of. So I want to count the number of names, number of times Diksha's name is repeated. So I'll just use do count, and then I'll do let's say Diksha. So in this case, since list में एक ही one only one time this is repeated, so it will just give me the output. It will just give me the output one student ls. Then you can see yes, we have discussed, removed, extend, index, insert, pop and sort. So all these are like already discussed. इसके अलावा भी we have okay, I think index is left. So index में what you can do is mm, sorry, I'm just so this is the same as above, like previously हमने this square bracket notation use किया था to access some index value. So same way, instead of square bracket, if you want to use this function index, and let's say if I write 2 over here, so ये second index पे जो value है student ls, uh, it will give that. value. So like second index पे we have Ayushi, so उस case में it will be output will be Ayushi. And same way we have three more important functions that I want to discuss. I want there is min function. Min function में if you pass the list value, so वो आपको minimum value of that list दे देगा. So let's say I have the list of marks. So I want to see कि student ने minimum score क्या रहा है. We can use min function to get the minimum marks. Same way we have the max function that you can use to get the maximum marks जो एक student ने achieve किया in that part in some particular subject. And lastly, this is the last one, that is len, length. So this will print you the length of this list. So in our case, there are like how many we have left. So we have 7 names now. So this will give you output as 7. So whatever length of your list is. So as a homework, I want you to try all these functions on your own for the list. So so that app like you can become more familiar with it, right? And I think we'll just cover list comprehension now, and then we'll stop. And next one we can cover in next class. Maybe that's all right. So main thing is you should be clear with the concept and जो भी हम discuss कर रहे हैं. In case some topic is left, we can have another extra session, Python session, YouTube live class, and to cover all the topics. But we will cover everything that is on agenda for our classes. And I'll just look at the chat if there's any other question. All right, all good there. And then, okay, then last topic for today is list comprehension. So what it is basically a compact way to write a loop for a list. So let's say we have a student list, and we want to do, let's say, only print, or just print, or we want to add uh, add like their marks, or y- we can do for like we can apply for loops or loops inside a list in a very compact way using list comprehension. So let's say let's say we have the student list only, and I want to print student for student in student list. So as you can see, like upper we discussed the for loop syntax and everything, but this is a very compact way to write a student list. So basically, what it will do is code में देख there is not much happening. We are just printing the student name as it is. So this is not much happening over there. But let's say for example purpose एक new list create करते हैं, and we with the numeric values. So let's create a sample list with the values. So we have this sample list जो हमने create करी है, and then we, as you can see, this is a numeric list. Let's say मेरे को like I want to see the values which are divisible by 2 in this list. So I'll just do, so instead of like looping over each element, हमने like for loop में क्या syntax है, we will just loop over every element of that list, and then we will check using if condition कि if that value is divisible by 2 or not. And then we are going to like print that value, or we are going to add it into our new list. So let's say I have to, if those values are let's create a new value list, and I do a for loop for sample value in sample list. If ये भी आपकी जो भी sample value है, if that is divisible by 2, so for divisible by 2, what we'll do is we can use this modulo operator, equal 0. So in this case what is happening, ये जो भी है इस if you remember from our last class, modulo operator क्या है, it always gives you the remainder value uh, of this division. So अगर हमने sample value को अगर 2 से divide किया, so अगर उस after the division if the remainder is 0, that means that value is divisible by 2. So if this value is divisible by 2, so let's say I want to add this value to our value ls, append, and then I am adding this to simple value, and lastly I will print this value ls. So as you can see in output, all the values जो भी 2 से divisible है by है, वो value ls में store हो रही है using this for loop. Now in list comprehension, we can do this exact same code in much more compact way. So let's say I will do value ls dot clear. So what this clear does is it will clear every value all the from the value ls list. So I'm just doing this value ls, and I'm just going to, so basically you can see everything is same, only difference is the syntax pattern is different. So we are doing basically same thing over here. So you can see, so firstly we have sample value तो जो final value हमें add करनी है into this list, and then we have the loop over here कि loop condition loop कैसे करना है and on to which list we have to loop, and then we have the if condition over here, जो भी if condition to add the value to the values. And if I print the value, let's name it 1. Okay, let's not clear the previous one and create a new value list ls1, right? So that there is no confusion or doubt over it ki if it's the same one or the different. So so you can see the value ls1, it has the output is same, but this is bit more compact way to write the same for loop. So yeah, so many people most of the times in python, since this is like one of the advantage of python so it's always preferred key you use this list comprehension where possible to make your code bit more uh, like less lengthier, more compact. I can give you another example of, let's take another example. This time let's create another list 2, and same way इस time पे what we'll do is let's say +2, and the rest of the thing is same. So we can also do this +2, or you can do any other mathematical operation as well. See all these values which are divisible by 2 in our original list, firstly wo value ls mein they are getting added with +2 addition being done to them. You could have done multiply 2, -2, or -1, anything in these cases. Right. So I think I'm going to stop this for today. set and dictionary functions we'll discuss in our next class, and also we will discuss the string functions as well. Maybe we might need to mm, we might need to bit have another Python session in the future to if we have more topics left. So uh, yeah, so if you have any feedback on this class, so feel free to share it with us. And also, anyone who wants to connect with us, please follow our YouTube or LinkedIn channel. We are very active on each of these social media presence channel. And also, we have new articles, tech articles being published on our LinkedIn page almost every day. So it will be good to see all also following as. Okay, I'll just wait for 1 minute. If anybody has any feedback to share or any question, they can put it in our chat. And then yeah, and also if you have any doubts about the next class or any of the topic discussed today, please you're welcome to connect with us on our social media handles. Okay, we have, okay, what is quiz form? Okay, so everyone who are all there, you can see this quiz registration link from our channel over here. So basically this is a quiz to kind of test your knowledge, and also to see if you are getting any practical knowledge from our session. So please make sure to register for this quiz, and we'll share the quiz at the end of tomorrow's lecture. And the people who score the like highest, they can look forward to have some surprise giveaways from us. So like this is also like great way to revise your concept, and as well as get some surprise gift as a result. So please make sure to register for this quiz. The link is there in the chat, and we will share the quiz at the end of tomorrow's class. And in that quiz, we'll have the very uh, questions related to Python, what we have covered in our sessions. So yeah, before you come to tomorrow's class, please make sure to revise your previous lectures and today's lectures content, and then I think you can get full 1 marks. So it will be good to see everybody getting full marks in the quiz. And yeah, any other question from anyone? Okay, if not, I wish you all a very uh, good night or good day, like if you are joining from some places where it's the day has just started. And and hope to see you all in next class. Yeah, all right, bye guys.